Hi there, you're welcome to my YouTube channel, and to our returning subscribers, you're highly welcome. To those who are just coming on this channel for the first time, please ensure you click the subscription button and also click the notification bell to get notified anytime we upload our videos. Yes, so today we'll be featuring a very interesting and life transforming discussion, and I encourage and enjoy that you stay put and get blessed. Thank you. All right, so I have with me in the studio today a very good friend, Mr. Emmanuel Adah. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
So we'll be having a very interesting topic and a very interesting discussion, as I earlier stated. Just stay tuned and flow with us. So today we'll be discussing talent and skill, and we'll be asking him a couple of questions, of which we'll be doing justice to that. So you're welcome once again, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So our first question for this session is there any disparity or difference between a talent and a skill? If yes, then what is it?
All right. So once again, thank you for having me here. The question is quite direct. Is there a difference between talent and skill, right?
Yeah.
Well, the truth about it is that yes, there is actually a difference. A talent is different from a skill, and I'll do this by defining what talent and skill mean. Okay, so a talent is an innate ability.
Okay.
It is natural to the person. It is natural to an individual, right? So that is a talent. It is an innate ability that is natural to a person.
Okay.
All right. Now, a skill is a trained ability. So the difference now between a talent and a skill is that talent is natural to the person. So you can see that somebody can, from a young age, be able to pick up something very easily and very quickly without um, prior prior knowledge about it.
Okay.
Yes, that's that person. You describe that person as being talented in that area or in that activity.
Okay.
Whereas a person that is skilled is someone that has gone through systematic processes and steps that have trained the person in becoming. Yes, so that is the difference
Okay,
between.
so the difference is the training aspect.
Yes, the difference is the training aspect for the person who is skilled, and then for
Okay.
the person who is talented, it is an innate ability that is from within the person, right? It is natural to the person.
All right.
Yes.
Forward, we'll be taking the next question, and the question is: so, which is more important, talent or skill?
Okay. So, which is more important between talent and skill?
Yes.
Well, the truth about it is that there was a time in the civilization of the world when it would be said that talent was more important.
Okay.
I mean, Leonardo da Vinci was an artist, right? He knew how to draw and sketch the human being, a portrait of a human being, as exactly as it was. This man was talented in that field. So in his time, in the times of Rome, they would say that yes, somebody is. It could be said that this talent is more important than skill. But I also want you to understand that even in that time of Rome, it could also be said that skill is more important than talent. And the example I will draw to that is that the Roman soldiers as of old needed to produce, sorry, not the Roman soldiers, now the Roman blacksmiths, those who created the swords.
Swords, okay.
Yes, they needed to produce swords that were so strong, such that if you go to battle, your sword will not break in battle, because the breaking of a sword will mean the death of a soldier. So if you look at it critically now, you would see that in every civilization of time, talent and skill are being placed as equally important, and it does not change even in this time. Because the truth about it is that in this modern dispensation, a person who is skilled and talented has a higher edge than someone who is just talented.
All right.
Yes. So talent and skill, they go hand in hand. So the advice now would be that if you are not skilled in something that you are talented in, it will be very good that you go through the necessary training. What it does to you is that it builds character. It increases your level of discipline and perseverance, and then it improves the amount of trust that the people who are relying on your skill for would have in you.
Okay.
Yes. So if people know, and that's why we go to school, because I can be very good with a computer system, but then a top class businessman would trust my skills or my ability to produce better if I had a certificate. Yes. So that's where skills and talents come in. The truth about it is that they are they are equally important. They are equally important. Yes.
Okay. Wow, that's a light there. I've been enlightened, even me myself. Okay. So that's to say we can't really say or we can't really stand on the ground on whatsoever ground to say talent is most important and as compared to skill.
Well, pardon me, but to a large extent, yes, we could say that. But then there are certain factors for which the person who is going for a talented or skilled person would want in selecting whether you want a talented or skilled person. Yeah, so most of the time we'd look at certain things like the nature of the job, the duration that it will take to perform the activity that is needed, yes, and whether there's an authenticity about what is being brought to the table. But irrespective of these, a talent and skill are very, very important merged together.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
You made mention of something while explaining that. You said skill builds character. And I think to
Yes.
me that's striking. And it's very important that we take note of that. So if skill builds character, then it's important that for every talented person to ever sustain that talent, he needs to
Yes.
go through rigorous training
Yes.
to be able to, because there are a lot of things you pick on the way while building.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good. That's great. All right. So the next question we have is should one consider hiring for skill or talent? Now if I own a business or organization and I want to hire, will I be looking out for skilled people or talented people?
Well, this is the question of looking out for skill or talent. If we draw out of the question and look at it more broadly, what the employer is looking for is actually competence.
Okay.
We are looking for somebody that can deliver.
Yes.
Yes, irrespective of the person's whether the person is skilled or whether the person is talented. So if you walk into the average store, right, um, I doubt if there are people who go to school to learn how to become sales girls. But then, so we would not say that they are skilled as per they have gone through a systematic process of education
Okay.
in the light of becoming a sales
Yes.
girl. Yes, but then we would say that they are skilled because they have watched somebody and they have learned through. Because if you notice, the idea of being skilled is that you are being trained through certain processes. You are being taken step by step into acquiring the necessary abilities to perform something, right? So if we now say that what should somebody look out for when you are hiring, right? Do you look for a skilled person or do you look for a talented person? What you are actually looking for is somebody that is competent in that area.
Okay.
So the competence now it helps us to shift away skill and talent and then look at the basics and what exactly will help my company or my organization now to be successful in the grand scheme of things. So if we say, okay, let's imagine a scenario where we have someone who is skilled
Okay.
and competent, and then someone who is talented and competent. Because I mean, competence, the idea of competence is that the person can deliver on the job, irrespective of um, having gone through any education or not. But then, if the person can deliver on the job that the person has been asked for. So let us say that we have two individuals like that
Okay.
now.
Sorry to cut you.
Yes.
Don't you think competence is built when through training?
Well, yes, competence is enhanced
Okay,
through
it's
training for the
enhanced.
person. Yes,
Okay.
for the person who is very talented. I don't know. You might have seen someone who is extremely talented as a singer. From the age of 5 or 7, this person is already singing and doing things with his or her voice that someone who is of an older age might not be able to do. We would say that such person has not been trained particularly, but then the person can perform to a good level,
Okay.
to a very, very good level. Now imagine that such person now is trained. It will increase the competence of that person. I
Okay.
don't know if you get.
Okay.
Yes. So the competence now is the increasing factor. Yes. But then the skill now, it helps us to understand that, okay, this person has gone through training.
Okay.
Yes. So as much as you might see a video of somebody a young child online that is just singing and another child that has gone through a music school.
Oh,
Yes. And then your best bet would be to pick the person who has been trained, because you know that okay, they have subjected this person to certain factors that will bring out the best
best
form of
in the
that art.
person. Yes.
Yes. So the question about which do you pick in terms of skill and then talent.
Talent.
Yes, it will help us to go back to what does the person who is employing actually want.
Alright.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you what do you want? So we now have to ask certain questions like I was saying before. The job you want this person to perform, does it require, what's the duration of this job? Is it going to take a long time? Are you going to have to count on the loyalty of this person? Because if you don't have to count on the any character trait of this person, then you might want to go for a talented person because the person can deliver for you. Then that's one. Then two, would this person have to pass down the knowledge to somebody else? Right. So if you have to pass down, then you might want to go for a skilled person, and that's because the person has gone through steps. And if
Yeah.
there are steps, then the steps can be replicated.
Yes.
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 So it depends on exactly what you want to go for, what you are looking for, in what do you want to achieve, and what are the factors behind what you want to achieve in the job that you're looking for to give either a skilled or a competent person. In the grand scheme of things, it is important because in our world today, the EQ and the emotional intelligence of people are taken highly into consideration when people are being
Okay.
employed. Yes.
Okay.
So for someone who is talented, you might want to really drill the person, and that's where character comes in. And that's how we know that skill will discipline you. And so you can be able to say that the person who is skilled, there's a higher chance of this person having a better work attitude
Alright.
outside of, yes, because I've come across people who are excellent. This person can come on stage and speak fluently and wow the crowd. But then if you tell this person to do any background work that has to do with putting himself in check and doing certain things towards, it's almost difficult for this person because spontaneously he's natural on stage. And then when we talk about the skill now, it's like it's almost lacking. So for this kind of situations now, you might want to look at the nature of the job. Like I said, the nature of the job that you're giving, the duration of how long is it going to take? Am I going to have to count on the character of this person? And then also, will this person be in a position to transfer this knowledge? And then, so in the case of transferring knowledge, now it's easier for one who is skilled to do that than one who is talented, because for the talented, it's more spontaneous.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. So from what you just said now, if I may want to judge, if I want to judge from my own, okay, looking at me now, if I stand in the shoes of an employer, right? From what you just said, I will go for a skilled person. I don't know, that's my bias though. But I'll go for a skilled because if character is involved, but I think it's the edge there, as you said, rightly said, is having the talent and
Yes.
building
Yes.
yourself still,
Yes.
which is the
Being able
skill
to,
now.
yes.
Yes, it builds character, it builds there are certain level of there are other aspects of the skill we are looking at. Now, when we mention skill, to a layman, whoever hears the word skill, the only thing he feels or thinks about is handwork.
True.
That's the
True.
only thing.
Yes.
And meanwhile, we have teamwork, we have
Exactly.
character, as you said,
Exactly.
and all of this they are
Exactly.
built
They are
when
learned in
you
a
learn
process.
it.
Yes.
Yes, in the process of
In the process of performing.
training
Yes.
and performing. Yes. So I think going with that's me though. Right, okay. So going forward now, the next question we have is it possible to be talented and skilled in different things? If so, how can I manage the both?
Wow, is it possible to be talented and as well be skilled in different things? Well, if we go back to our definitions of what talent and skill are, then you'd actually realize that it's very, very possible. Because someone can be talented in, let's say, the art of drawing. He draws naturally, and
Okay.
then the person wants to go into computer, wants to
Alright.
understand the computer, will become a computer engineer, right? And this person can put himself through school and become skilled
Alright.
as a computer engineer or a software engineer, and also be talented as an artist.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is actually very possible for a person to have skill and talent. The other question now, or looking at it in a broader sense, would mean that is it possible for someone to be and I'll keep moving on, because is it possible for someone to be skilled and talented in the same thing? And yes, it is. I mean, yes, this is very, very possible.
Okay.
Seeing someone who can draw so well, can replicate a human, you would think it's a picture, and then this person still put himself through school, and that's one of the advantages of being a skilled person, because you would learn the in depth of what you are doing. As a talented person, certain things will come naturally to you. You just discover that you can do this.
Yes.
But then, as a skilled person, you will discover that okay, there is a process that I can take to get this. So, on the days, and this is something that talented people face sometimes. There are days when they are low on content. There are days where the energy to do what they do, or they don't really have that flow.
Alright.
Yes, there's not this flow. Having being a skilled person, it helps because you know the steps that will
How
ensure.
to.
Yes, exactly. So it's very possible for someone to be skilled and talented in the same thing. Now it's also possible for someone to be skilled and talented in many things.
Alright.
It's many things. It's just that for those kind of people, there is the issue of what is important.
Okay.
Because there has to be a premium. You have to place premium on what is important for you, what is important in that time.
Yes.
So because everything can be learned does not mean everything should be learned. And because you can do everything does not mean that you should. Yes. So there has to be an importance, and that is where the purpose of a team, the purpose of the person now takes premium. Because if you know that this is where I should be, even though I can play ball, even though I can sing and do this, this is where I know someone who is an excellent bass guitarist. I mean, when he holds the bass, he's really, really good. He puts himself, he learns every very good. But then when you ask him what he's doing right now, he's into electrical engineering, and that is where he. I hope you understand.
Yes.
This person has been. That's where he was. We could say he has been trained in,
Yes.
because all his years in school, this is all he has been studying,
Yes.
and right now that's where he works. He works as, and he would always speak that. So for such a person that has this and this, okay, even though I can do this, I can do, and this goes for people who are multi-talented.
Alright.
So you say, I can do 5 things. Which one do I go for? You need to know, okay, where exactly does your passion lie? You discover your purpose.
Passion.
Yes.
Passion.
You discover your purpose and you say, okay, this is where I am supposed to be. This is what I am supposed to be doing. And then you focus on, because as much as you might want to do everything, there's really no time for you to do everything. Yes. Joyce Meyer described this in a certain way, and she said that let's imagine that someone was born into the world with certain ability to dance, for example, right? And then this person was given this ability at over 10. The person was given this ability to, let's say, number 5, right? Now, if you look at it, like generally speaking, everybody has the potential to dance. You might not be able to dance as well as I can dance, but then we can all dance, right? Yes. So now someone can dance and has been given to a 5. Another person has been given to maybe 1. Another person has been given to maybe 7, right? John Maxwell also made this illustration in his description of training to become a better leader. Yes, a person a person's highest leadership potential could be a number 6.
Yes.
And if he puts in so much work, the person can increase to an 8. Yes. But then someone who is a 4 would have to put in even more work, and this will mean that it will take even more time. And this is why we now say what is important. Because time is not actually waiting. So if you can dance, you can sing, you can draw, you are doing this, you are doing that, and you want to put in all your energies into 7 to 8 things, you want to be skilled and talented in both of them, then the theory of you becoming a jack of all trades and master of all stands out here. Yes. So it is important that we place premium on the major things. Yes. What is major, and then how do we know what is major? Where is my purpose? Where does my purpose lie? What am I passionate about? And then you focus on those areas, you will discover that you will become a person who is versed in that area. Yes.
Oh, that's great. That's fabulous. I lack words to adjective to describe that. Okay, so right, from what you've just said, I feel it takes a lot to actually build that. Okay, when it comes to leadership now, there are certain persons that are born leaders. I don't know if yes, okay, not born leaders. There are certain persons that are born with leadership abilities.
Yes.
Okay, and others build
leadership ability.
They build it. So I feel the advantage that other guy who has abilities from tender age has over the other who needs to build it is the time.
The time.
So the person building from the scratch has to put in more time,
More.
and that's why there is you must put premium, as you said, and importance on prioritizing what your passion. You may
Yes.
be good in so many things,
Yes.
but where exactly are
Exactly.
you passionate, and where exactly is your purpose, so that you can work and train in that line.
Yes.
Well, that's great. And again, I would like to see something. I was doing the research and I realized it really takes a lot to actually build skill.
True.
There's a rule someone postulated that, and it's called the 10,000 hour rule.
Yes.
I don't know if you've come across
Yes, I
something like
have.
that. There's a 10,000 hour, like it takes 10,000
10,000 hours
hours to build, not 10,000 hours of rigorous
for you to
training
be a
to build
master.
a
Yes.
skill. And that's to say we have premature, seemingly skilled persons then, because there are people who just, but do you think that it plays out in every skill?
Well, it's actually this is where the talent comes in, because one of the things that talent does is that it makes the talented person perform with ease. So you might be in class and you're trying to solve a mathematics equation, and then there's somebody in class that is naturally good with
Yes.
numbers and mathematical equations. It might take you 5 minutes to arrive at the answer. You arrived at the answer,
Yes.
and this other person also arrived at the correct answer, right? But then it took him less time. It took
Yes.
him 2 minutes. We had somebody like that. We'll be writing tests. This young man will sleep off, not because he will sleep off because he's done in 15 minutes.
Hmm.
We are still trying to crack our brains, and we will get the right answers too.
Yeah.
But then, so that's where talent comes in. And then if you look at it as regarding time now, you will see that if someone who is okay, there are people who are talented and they don't focus on their talents. I can probably because there's peer pressure, they want to do what everybody is doing, or
Yes.
there is no
Yes.
appropriate support, maybe
Mm.
from their family,
Yes.
yes, and financial support as well.
Mm.
So you can see someone is actually very good at wiring, very, very good at wiring, but then he's trying to go to be a doctor, right? It
Mm.
becomes difficult for that person. And then
Yes.
let's say this person has lost time in his life and then
Yes.
tries to track back. What will happen is that because it is natural to him
Yes.
and there is a certain level of ease that comes with it,
Mm.
he will move.
Yes.
He will move. He will move quickly. Yes. So we need to understand that these things apply. As regards the 10,000 rule, it's actually really true. If you can discipline yourself enough, and if you look at it in a very critical sense, the 10,000 rule helps you to become skillful. It actually
Yes.
builds your skill because
Yes.
there's a lot of discipline and perseverance. You'll
That
be
goes
dedicated
to
to
the
doing one
one
thing
thing.
over and over in its most rigorous and most stressing form. And these are things that brings out masterclass.
Yeah. Yes.
So
That's
yes.
true. That's true. Wow. So, okay. What's your final take, or what will you say? What's your advice to every young man out there who is in, will I say, in a dilemma, or is trying to reconnect or trying to know where exactly he is, or he or she is, and is in a situation of having, as you said, maybe 5 or 10 skills
Yes.
or talents rather, and wants to really focus on one, because until you focus on one and build yourself, you can't gain
True.
mastery in
True.
that area. So what is your advice to every young folk out there?
Right. I actually want to even begin by advising and encouraging every young person. There is no person that is not talented. God puts in every human being a special ability. I call it a superpower.
Mm.
But God puts in every human being, every human, because there are people who feel like because they can't sing, because they can't, maybe all of these major, yes, they feel like they are not talented, they don't have
Yes.
anything, they are just there. But I want to encourage you that there's actually nobody that is born normal. I don't like you are born abnormal. There's something about you that makes you special. There's something about you that makes you unique, right? So it's all about you focusing and finding that thing. Now, for
Yes.
those who have found that they can do a vast amount of things, it is important, like we say, that you place premium on what is major. We need to grow a generation of youths that discover purpose early. early enough for them to work in it, early enough for them to make the strides that they are making. Most of the people who are doing great things, they started when they were young.
Yes.
And if you look at it, it's not like we're not saying we give you all the money when you are young to start up the business immediately. But then at least from certain ages, you know that this is where you are. Because if you know where you are, you won't shift to the side. Peer pressure is a very serious thing for young people. And so you see them, let's do this, let's do that, let's do everything
Everything.
at the same time. But then it's important that you know where you are, you know
Strengths.
where these are my strengths, this is what I was called to. And when we talk about the theory of purpose, we really cannot say it without introducing the God factor, because it is the person that creates that can tell the creation the yes. So I created you. I am in the best position to tell you what you are supposed to do. I'm the best position to tell you all your strengths, all your weaknesses, and tell you how to improve on them. So in the long and short, for those of us who have a vast array of talent or a vast array of abilities, find your purpose, and you can find your purpose in God.
Yeah, wow, that's the headline, that's the point line there. Find your purpose in God. That's where you, because He owns the manuscript, and
Yes.
since He created you, as He said, He should and would definitely have the answers to that problem, that confusion you've been in. So that's an advice, as a piece of advice to every young person out there. Please stick to it. God bless you. Thank you for staying down to this very moment, and we want to appreciate our guests.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming,
Thank you, sir.
and thank you for staying tuned, for staying up to this time. Till we come your way next time. Please ensure you subscribe to this channel if you've not. Okay, subscribe to this channel. We have amazing and lots of packages and series that will be coming your way going forward. God bless you. See you next time.